Answer.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday afternoon in cloudy, thundery Santa Fe. It's Mayor Alan Webber here from the mayor's office. I'm back starting off wearing my mask because we're all a little bit worried about what's happening with the Delta variant. So take the advice of the CDC when you go into a crowded space, outdoors or indoors, take an extra precaution and wear a mask. I'll talk about COVID later, but we're going to start with some really fun news and some exciting news. Maybe you already read in the newspaper about 12-year-old softball slugger and student par excellence, Jas Ramirez, who won the Little League West Regional Home Run Derby in Seattle on Sunday. Softball, not baseball. Don't make that mistake. I already did that once and got scolded for it. There's a big difference. And Jas, welcome home. Congratulations. Show us that ball you got to come home with, and tell us about winning the title.
So this is the last softball I hit over the fence for winning. It was a great experience. It was so much fun. Once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm very, very honored I got to attend it.
Well, we're just so proud of you that you're representing Santa Fe and you're doing it on a big stage. You were in the Mariners ballpark, right?
Yes.
That's the bigs. And they set up a fence and then they pitch you the softballs and you try to knock them over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
How many you had 3 rounds that you were competing in?
4 rounds.
4 rounds. Okay. And give us a play-by-play. How did it go down? What did it take to win the whole thing?
So the first round, all 10 participants got to do it. They hit as many as they could. The order was based on how the girls did in their local one and how the girls did in general. So the girls who did not as great went in the beginning, and then the girls who did a lot better was in the back. So I was second to last for mine, for the order for me. So we did the first round. I hit 3. I got to continue in the second round, so that was top 6. We did that. We went again, but I only hit 1 that next round, sadly. I also got to continue going.
1 was good enough to keep going, right?
Yes.
So all you need is 1 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you went into the third round.
The third round, yes. No, second round. Oh, wait, no, third round. I think it was the second round, actually. So second round, it was 4 girls left. And it was girls who had to go against each other 2 by 2. So I was against a girl from Iowa, and there was other 2 girls who went against each other. And that's when I hit the 8 home runs, and my opponent, she hit 3. So that's when I got to continue on in the last round. And the girl that went before me, she only hit 1. So I had to hit 2. And the first ball I hit, it went over. And then a few more had to go by. And then finally I hit my second one. And this is that ball.
That is so cool. So I'm so curious about the whole experience. The other competitors were from all over the Western states. So
Yes.
who did you have to go up against, and what were they like?
So I know for sure that there was girls from Texas, Iowa, Arizona, Nevada, Washington. What else? I think that's it. I'm not sure. The experience, it was so much fun. I think that the girls, they did their best and they all did great, but going against them, it was a lot of fun, and they were very kind to each other, to me, and it was like almost like we already family. It was great.
Nice. So it was not it was nice girls, not mean girls.
Nice, very nice. Yes.
That's great. And they treated you well in Seattle. They took good care of you.
Yes, they did. They took very good care of all of us.
And I saw a picture of you on the way home with a New Mexico state flag at the airport. So you were carrying our colors with you, which is very cool.
And everyone in the airport was watching me. I felt a little off because I was being looked at by everyone. So, but it was okay. I didn't mind
It's,
it.
I think it's something to be proud of. And our show producer, Joe Abeda, was saying earlier, did you feel pressure or did you feel relaxed? What was the mental game of hitting home runs? Not
I
just,
felt very relaxed because knowing that I had all my family and friends here in New Mexico supporting me, that's all I needed. And my mom and dad and brother were there. Um, it was great. I mean, it was relaxing just being up there too. It was beautiful.
and now you go to Pennsylvania.
Yes,
And
Williamsport, I think.
what happens there? Have they already told you what the experience will be like? How many other young girls will be competing in the next? This is the finals now. This is the nationals, right?
Yes, they haven't exactly told us all the details. I think there's going to be 8 girls going to that one, including myself. Um, but that's all they told us.
Sounds exciting. Are you any nerves? You got ice water in your veins? What's going on inside?
Well, this one I am a lot more nervous. You have to expect the unexpected, and we don't know what that is yet. So, I need to get working on my hitting a lot more practice. But I think I'll do fine. I think who knows what.
I saw you at the boys 12 and under Little League All-Star game, and I told you already won. And I feel like you've already double won now. You've carried the flag all the way to Seattle and back. And that's such a great achievement. It's something that makes everybody in Santa Fe proud, but we're really happy for you too. It's a big deal to carry that bat up to the plate and hit the ball over the fence. I think that's a lot of work and a lot of pressure, whether you feel it or not, it's there.
Yeah.
And you came home the champ.
I was so surprised. Like even being there was awesome, but winning, it's a different level.
Well, congratulations. I forgot to ask you one very important question, which is when you're playing softball, what position do you play?
I play third base.
Third base. So do you have a favorite third base person that you when you're in the field? Everybody focuses on hitting the ball over the fence, but you got to play a position too. When you're playing third, is there a ball player you kind of admire from the bigs?
Yeah, for college softball, there's a girl. She goes to JMU. She's 4'11", which is crazy as it is. But I mean, size doesn't matter, and her playing third base is already crazy. It's a hard place to be at because it's most likely for girls to hit it to you, and
Uh-huh.
but you never know. But it's hard. It
It's
is.
the hot corner.
Mhm.
And you're right. One of the great things about softball, baseball, is size doesn't matter. Ball players come in all sizes and shapes, and there's no one way to be a third base player, a shortstop, second base. You can be any shape as long as you got the athleticism and the ability and the capacity to be quick to respond in the field. And obviously you got a quick hands at the plate. So very cool. So your next thing is to take a little time off, or are you going to go back and practice that home run stroke now?
Oh no, I'm gonna practice. It's gonna be lots of practicing now.
Well, I'm laughing not because I'm anything other than just tickled for you. It's such a gasp to see you compete and win and come home. We're really very, very happy for you and very proud of you. So we'll be tracking it. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah, even coming home yesterday at 5 o'clock, I had softball practice and I still went. I was
Good for you.
tired yesterday too.
It's a long flight, right?
It is.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. And next step, whatever happens, you are again already a winner. So just own that and be proud of it. And congratulations. It's good to see you safe and sound back home.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, Jas. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
It is so cool to have Jas on today and talking about what it's like to go over to Seattle and compete as a home run derby winner. We have another winner in a different field, and that's Christine Chavez, who is with us as well. Hi, Christine.
Hello, how are
And
you?
I understand that you have quite an athletic background as well. We don't want to sell you short. You're not only a water conservation guru, you're also you have many other skills with athletics and cheering and come on, come clean. You're a multifaceted individual.
Well, no, actually, it's my daughter who is a student athlete, and she's the one who carries the athleticism in our family. But I did want to congratulate Jas as well. These student athletes work so hard, and it's great to see them recognized, for that hard work. So congratulations to her.
And her attitude is just so exemplary. She's just a really down to earth person. If I won a regional home run derby championship, I don't think I'd be quite as down to earth as she is. She's just really, really good people. So you're right about giving them some recognition. But let's give you some recognition because we're talking about water and water conservation. There's a lot of concern about the drought that we're in, not just in New Mexico, but it's a Western phenomenon. And people are concerned about our water resources, our supply, and our demand. And I guess one of the things that I'd love to hear you talk about is the ways that each one of us can step up and do something to make a difference, because we can't necessarily make it rain or snow in the winter, and we can't necessarily have our control over river flows. But at home and at work and in our own lives, there's lots of things we can do in Santa Fe to affect water conservation and contribute. And if everybody does a little, it adds up to a lot. So what are some of the things that we can each do to make a difference?
Well, there are a lot of resources available right away for people to take advantage of. And so I did want to talk about those. We have our website, savewatersantafe.com, and there are many, many resources for people to immediately access. One of the best resources that the city has is the Ion Water app, and it's a free app for all of our city customers. And you can talk a little bit about the app because I know you're familiar with it, but it's just a great tool for people to really look at the amount of water that's being used for every application in their home. You can figure out how much water you're saving just by shortening your shower, shortening the amount of time that you water your outdoor landscapes. And the most important thing is that it will notify you within a 24-hour period of any leaks that are occurring in your home. And so that's a huge focus for us right now. Leaks are wasted water. And in this time, that's the lowest hanging fruit. And so we're really trying to help our customers and even internally within city departments, identify leaks and give them the resources to repair them right away.
Yeah, you're very kind to mention that I'm those old ads, I'm not only president of Hair Club, I'm also a client. Well, I am very much a client of the Ion Water app and also of the assessments that the city provides people as a water audit in your own home. I have one of those little egg timers in my shower, courtesy of you and your team. And Francis and I swapped out some toilets that were water guzzlers, and we also try to wash our dishes less frequently and make sure when we're using the dishwasher, make it a full load. When you're using a clothes washer, make it a full load. Don't do a lot of water for a little clothes, and try to bring down our per person water use, because we each have some control over just how frugal we are with the water that we've got.
Right. The energy We've been calling it a water assessment because the word audit didn't seem to fall too well with people. But the assessment is like you said, we will go into your home, we'll look at all of your water appliances and try to make sure that there aren't any issues. And then we'll notify you of any opportunities. And so when we did your assessment, we were able to identify that the toilets could be replaced. You know, there were some opportunities to improve the irrigation system that you had in place and to reduce some leaks that we found within that system. And so it was great to have that opportunity to work with you. And you know, with our customers, it's just about answering your questions and being able to offer you the resources that we have. We have the rebate program, which you mentioned. You replace the toilets and then you receive a credit on your water bill to offset some of that cost. And so we have rebates for not only toilets, dishwashers, washing machines, but outdoor irrigation equipment and rain barrels, gray water system applications. It's a really, really big rebate program, and a lot of people are just not aware of that resource. And so we have that program. You can learn more about that on our website. We can come in and do an assessment. We can help you identify leaks. And then we have a whole other set of resources related to the outdoor sector and the plants that you choose to plant, and you know, the applications that you have to provide them with supplemental water. So you know, it's a great opportunity for us to talk about those. But again, savewatersantafe.com. There's a lot of resources there for everyone to take advantage of right away.
So this may be an unfair question. If it is, just say, sorry, Mayor, I can't help you on that one. But I have a pretty clear impression that over the last decade or so, or maybe even more, the city as a community has made a lot of progress on water conservation. And that if you go back to the mid 90s to where we are today, if you did a graph, you'd see a pretty good reduction in water use over time, that we're really cutting into our water use. More to be done. Obviously, if we each had that Eye on Water app and we did an assessment, we could find even more ways to save, and maybe the city can add some new, like we're working on a green building code for multifamily housing that will provide even more savings going forward. There's commercial, there's restaurants and hotels that are pretty good sized water users, and we can work with those institutions. But can you just give us a snapshot over time about, you know, how well we've done as a community, and maybe we can continue that reduction in water use, but we ought to get some historical context for where we've come from and how much progress we actually have made to reduce water use in Santa Fe.
Well, it's an impressive story for sure. You know, in 1997, our GPCD was double what it
What
is
was that?
today.
Or what?
Well, the graph starts with 1997 with that highest peak. And so I have to go back in time.
Yeah, but you said GRPCD, and I don't know what GRCP
Oh,
is.
of course. So I always assume that people know what that acronym means. GPCD is gallons per capita per day, and it is our measurement in water conservation for the amount of water that the city uses for everything. So we have an overall number that encompasses all the water use in the city, and then we break it down by residential, multifamily, commercial sectors, and that gives us a target for whether or not residential is increasing or decreasing, commercial the same. So it's something we look at every year, and we create targets based off that data. But the GPCD number in 1997 was double what it is today, and
Wow.
our population has increased during that time. And so it's a really impressive story. You know, we're serving twice the amount of people with half the amount of water. And the city of Santa Fe, I mean, it's a very water conscious community. You know, as you drive through town, you don't see lawns and a lot of grass in front of people's homes. I mean, people understand that water is a very precious resource. And there's a lot of choices made about how that water is used, especially in the outdoor sector. But we're so lucky because Santa Fe is so green. I mean, it's so beautiful. You would never know that we're conserving water with every decision we make. But like I said, the community understands it, and they really do their best to make the right choices when it comes to the amount of water being used.
This, you hear it every day. Water is life in northern New Mexico, and we're just very conscious. It's not something to be taken for granted. It's something to be very consciously conserved and used very sparingly. I have a note, I think it's from our website, that we have a goal of trying to use no more than 55 gallons of water per person per day, or that's a target. What is that? What does 55 gallons per person per day look like? How would I know if I'm hitting that or not?
Well, that does seem like a lot of water. When we think about it, like, do I really use 55 gallons per day? But what that means is it's the amount of water that's being used to flush toilets, to cook, to shower, to irrigate. I mean, it's a total number. So the goal is not to try to really cut that down per person, but to really look at where you're using water in every part of your home. So if you can shorten your shower, if you can try to manage the amount of water being used on your plants or your grass, or those types of applications, like you said, running your dishwasher, running your washing machine, collectively that adds up to 55 gallons, per day, per person per day. So it seems like a high number, but it just encompasses all the water use. And so the idea is to really look at each of those things and try to reduce the amount of water being used. And like I said, people are already doing quite a bit in the residential sector. People understand, even in their outdoor landscapes, they're really trying to think of planting a native plant that uses less water, that may double other purposes, like be an edible or be a pollinator plant. Like there's this stacked thinking in the community already about what we're putting in the ground and how we're going to irrigate that. So people are, putting in rain barrels and gray water systems to provide supplemental water to that planting. And there's always the argument that, well, it doesn't rain very much, so it's pointless to try to capture it. But I think that we all know, especially after these last 2 weeks, that there's a tremendous opportunity to capture, so much water that's just falling from the sky. And our plants really, really like that water because there's no chlorine in it. It's a very natural source of water. And so that's what we really try to do, is we try to assist, people in the community with building those types of applications and that stacked thinking, so that when we're looking at the outdoor sector, we have a lot more opportunity to conserve water.
So imagine that all of this is new to me. I haven't had a assessment. I don't really know what my water use looks like. I haven't downloaded Eye on Water. What do I do to get started in the water conservation journey? Who do I call? Can I do it as a neighborhood association? Can I do it as a church group? How do I believe that we're in a drought and I want to help. I want to make a difference. I'm committed to doing something about our water future. How do I get started, Christine?
Well, the first thing I would do is, again, visit our website, savewatersantafe.com. If you haven't downloaded the Eye on Water app, you will get a wealth of information just by looking at the data there, because it's broken down by hour, by minute. I mean, so you can figure out exactly when you started to water your garden or when you got into the shower the previous day. And you may be really surprised to know that, wow, that shower was 15 gallons down the drain. And there may be opportunity to capture that water, to use it in a different way, or to just shorten the amount of the shower so that more water is saved. But if you're a commercial customer, we've been focusing a lot on the residential sector, but if you're a commercial customer, if you are a restaurant or a hotel, like you mentioned, there's all the same types of programs for you as well. So we will come in and do an assessment of your commercial business and provide you with a list of opportunities to take advantage of. We have neighborhood pilots all over the city. And so if you live in a neighborhood and you feel like there is a unique opportunity for you and your neighbors to learn or to install an application that you all can benefit from, please give us a call and, just touch base with us. We're very, community driven. Every single thing that we do is because the community has asked us to do it in a series of public input sessions that we hold. So I would just say, reach out and let us know if there's a concern, if there's an opportunity, if there's a resource that you would like for us to provide. Just reach out to us. We have a survey on our website right now It's only 5 questions long, and it's very, very quick to take, but you have an opportunity to give us your ideas right away in that survey. And what we do with that input is we use it to create our next year's scorecard. We're very, very organized in the way we approach our programs. But the great thing is the community can come in, let us know what they want to do. We'll put it on the scorecard, allocate the resources and the budget to do that, create the partnerships within the city to support that. And, we'll, in 2021, it'll be a program that we consider. So I would just say, go to our website, download the Eye on Water app, ask any questions that you have, provide us with the input to create the programs that you would like to see, and just continue to be involved, because that's our program is complete. We don't sit back here and decide what's best for the community at all. It's because of the input that we get that we create the programs that we have.
Thanks, Christine. That's very comprehensive. This is a big deal. We are looking at water, our water future. We want to grow smart. We want to conserve water at the same time that we are trying to add housing for more people to be able to live in our community and work in our community. These pieces have got to fit together, and you have a big responsibility. Conserving water is one of the best ways to have more water. It's the source of more water, just as much as the rain or the river or wells provides water. Conservation provides water. So your program is absolutely essential for our future, and I'm very grateful to you for all the great work you've been doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. So it's 2:30 on my clock, and Joe Abeda has been running the program. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Jas, our home run slugger. What a great community we live in. Please continue to save water, root for our young people, our student athletes. They're going back to school in about 2 weeks. Remember that the Delta variant is out there. So if you haven't been vaccinated, please step up and get vaccinated. If you have been vaccinated and you go to the supermarket or you go to the pharmacy, you go shopping, please wear a mask. It's a new reminder that we're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the COVID crisis. We are just into the next piece of it around the Delta variant. There's a lot more to talk about. I'll do it with you next installment. Till I see you next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your community. Send up a cheer for Jas Ramirez and also for Christine Chavez for the great work they both do. One hitting homers, one keeping our community safe with water. It's great to see everybody. Take care, stay well. See you next time. Let's all take care of Santa Fe. Bye, folks.